Welcome to the Hololight headquarters. I'm Luis Bollinger, Chief Sales Officer at Hololight, and today we are very excited to introduce you to a technological breakthrough that will change the way how people interact and work with immersive technologies, Hololight Hub. Feel free to submit your questions at any time and we'll address them later in our Q&A session. So let's dive in.
The 1960s marked the beginning of human-computer interaction. A new era dawned. In the 1970s, personal computing brought computers into homes and changed the way we work. The 1990s witnessed the internet wave, connecting the world and making information more accessible than ever. The rise of mobile computing in the 2000s made information mobile and accessible anywhere. The 2010s ushered in the era of cloud computing, where data and applications moved to the cloud. Now, in the 2020s, we enter the era of spatial computing. XR, extended reality, is transforming how we interact with the digital world.
Welcome to our Hololight office where the future of industrial XR is being shaped. We've just heard that we entered the decade of spatial computing, but enterprises are still facing major challenges when scaling XR, like fragmentation, security concerns, data complexity, management and distribution. But we wouldn't be here if we didn't have a solution, Hololight Hub. And what that is, let's hear from our Head of Product Development, Gabriele Socchi.
Whoa! Thank you, Luis. Hololight Hub is a groundbreaking technology to host, stream, and scale any augmented reality and virtual reality application. With our proprietary technology, you will be able to have unparalleled performances and visual quality when streaming to any XR device, keeping your data very secure. Two of the most important functionality of our platform are being able to stream any XR application to any device and keep data very secure. But for this, let's talk with Philip.
Enough theory. Let's see Hub in action. Here we see Hub's web-based management platform, where administrators can very easily update application and also add new ones. In addition, they can manage all the users to make sure that the right people have the right tools available to them. Let's jump into the user's perspective. As soon as the end user sets up the glasses and opens Hololight Hub, he's presented with an interface independent of what headset he's wearing. In there, he has a catalog of all available apps and can choose whichever app he wants by just clicking on it. It will immediately start without any loading time or setup required.
Now that you have seen it in action, let's talk about the technology behind Hololight Hub. The core foundation is Hololight Stream SDK, the streaming solution we have developed at Hololight that you can add in any XR application, and with this upload it in Hub and make possible for your XR portfolio to be streamed to any device.
Now, what are the benefits of the streaming technology? First of all, security. All data is only processed on servers. There's nothing ever on the mobile devices. So even if one of your headsets get lost, there was never any data on it. Another benefit is scalability.
When we are talking about scalability for Hololight Hub, we are talking about serving thousands of users, streaming hundreds of applications to many different XR devices. Today, for example, we already support devices like Meta Quest 3, Microsoft HoloLens 2, Magic Leap 2, Lenovo Think Reality VRX, and even mobile devices like iPhone and iPad. And when we talk about performances, we are talking about rendering server-side with unmatched visual quality and performances for any XR application to any device.
And now, to give you a better insight on the visual quality you can achieve with this streaming technology, we've prepared a short video for you.
Life's like a movie, lights, camera, action. Put your mind to it, live the life that you imagine. Life's like a movie, lights, camera, action. DJ, turn it up, it's the new classic. Life's like a movie, lights, camera, action. Put your mind to it, live the life that you imagine. Life's like a movie, lights, camera, action. Life's like a movie, lights, camera.
But Hololight Hub is not just a streaming platform, it's a powerful XR ecosystem for enterprises. And that only works with the most powerful applications, either developed by yourself or third-party providers. And we have the strongest partners by our side, providing applications for the most important industrial use cases.
Discover the power of united innovation in XR. Hololight collaborates with leading XR solution providers to enhance industrial applications with advanced streaming technology. Together, we take enterprise XR to the next level.
Now, let me show you some of our partner applications in action. Let's start with Tactile. Tactile provides advanced work instruction applications. Those can help workers or technicians in factories to do their tasks with less training and flawless. Next, let's explore an application by Frontline. Frontline is a company which specializes in digital twin, training and remote assist applications.
Let me tell you another exciting detail about Hololight Hub. You have seen before the video of the ray tracing technology and what it's capable of. Thanks to the integration with NVIDIA Omniverse and the OpenUSD file format, with Hololight Hub, you can today stream a staged 3D model with photorealistic visual effects in any XR device. This is pushing the boundaries of what today's technology in relation to XR is capable of.
So Hololight Hub is not just user-friendly and flexible, it's a game changer in how teams collaborate and work with digital content. And we're continuously innovating and enhancing Hololight Hub, adding new features and functionality.
Hey there,
See
I brought you something to celebrate. I think it was a good starting for this live event.
Thank you very much, that's
Cheers.
very kind.
You're welcome.
I hope you guys out there have also a drink, so we're enjoying that. That's the best iced tea I ever had.
Yeah, of course, iced tea. You know we drink only iced tea here.
And Gabe, actually, I'm very happy that you're here. When I saw you breaking through the floor, I was really feeling a little bit strange. So I think I'll never go back to the rooftop here.
I was looking for you on the floor, and then you were gone. So I had to find the best way to catch you up.
You know, I know how to find the fastest way to the studio here.
Me too, as you can see.
Yes. And guys, yeah, thank you very much for watching so far. We'll now take the chance to chat a little bit about Hololight Hub and some of the amazing stuff you just saw that our team prepared and highlighted. And obviously you're invited to ask and send your questions. So we'll go a little bit through it. But Gabe, let's start a little bit. I mean, we've seen great things of what Hololight Hub can do. But what are actually the reasons to develop such a product? Yeah, what is the challenge in the market that we are addressing?
Well, the whole idea behind Hololight Hub was to try to help enterprises deal with this new technology that's been on the market for a while. And because of the amount of devices available, because of the number of applications, because of the continuous increase of the use cases and the way you can use this technology, we have seen enterprises start to struggle in handling all the different situations. So the idea was to try to provide a tool very close to what other technology are already doing for enterprise since a long time, and provide a centralized system that they can be used, for example, from IT to simplify the process of establishing a technology, give access to all the user and all the different departments, be able to work with multiple devices and find the right device and match the right use case, and administer all this complexity in a very easy and flexible way. And on top of that, we have to remember that enterprises, they have always the challenge to deal with the security of their data. A lot of our customers and collaborators, they really work with data that needs to be safe and needs to be managed in a very secure way. So working with this approach, Hub can help company keep the data at the right side and always available for the user at the right moment.
And that's why streaming is the core of the platform, so that we can really outsource the rendering of devices to the server side, keep the data there secure, and then basically target all the XR devices and applications.
Correct. Streaming has been always the key to, first of all, remove the limitation of the device when it comes to power, to visualization quality, but at the same time, be sure that a device is just a device and it doesn't become the repository of your data. We know that device gets shared, so you want to be sure that you can always work in the best condition.
Yeah, and then if Hololight Hub is finally the central hub for all XR applications, then obviously it has to interact with other systems that are in place, and that is one of our questions here. So is it possible to make connections to ERP systems, SAP and other systems out there?
The big advantage of a solution like Hub is that Hub is a centralized platform. It hosts application developed by any software development company, including also the enterprise themselves. So every application staying on the server side can of course easily be integrated also in a very secure way with technology like CRM, PLM, ERP, and the data gathering can be managed in a very secure and structured way, exactly as you do for other applications on the market like SAP or Team Center or the 3D Experience platform, in a way that it's just another enterprise tool.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And one of the things that I like a lot about is to see that Hololight Hub is not just a platform for one application, but that we actually have so many great partners who already onboarded basically on the platform, who integrated the streaming SDK, which in the end creates a suite of applications, that we can use and provide to others. Yeah. So one of the questions that I think we should address is how you can actually become a partner, especially if you're a software vendor out there. How can you become part of the Hololight Hub platform?
Well, one of the addition of working with the product like Hub is that we have a very strong ISV partner program in which we are inviting software developer to use our streaming technology in a very easy and convenient way. They can embed the technology in their application and we can help them in deploying the application inside Hub in a very, very easy way, making fit the application in any case with the enterprise standard. And again, combining Hub, the streaming, and the support we give to through the ISV partner program, we can make possible to create application that fit with all the other applications. They have a common technology approach and they can be therefore used in a very, very consistent way across every department, every use case, and every users.
Yes, and Hub is not just a platform for third-party app providers. So if you are, as an enterprise, get the Hub with applications, you are also able to bring your own in-house developed applications on the platform. Because I think that if we look on the XR ecosystem out there, then many applications are obviously coming from third-party providers, from ISVs.
Yes.
But a huge part of the applications is also developed in-house because of special environments or special requirements that companies have in terms of security or other aspects. So I think the XR app ecosystem in the end includes not just applications from ISVs.
Yeah, exactly. Also because we work with very standard technology that are very well established on the market, and the possibility to embed the streaming system and deploy that in Hub, it's very flexible. So everyone can pick up an application that has been developed, as you said, also for very customized requirements, and put it into a managed ecosystem.
Yes, one of the things I personally liked a lot about was many of our partners, they had their applications run on one headset, on one specific headset, and when they were integrating the streaming, we then, and we did this basically because for us that's quite normal
Yeah,
since a while. But we just took another headset and connected to the server and streamed the same application, not just to one device, but actually to another. So that cross-platform aspect, that was really fascinating for many of our partners.
Actually, if you remember, just a few minutes ago, I was mentioning about the fragmentation of the device. This has been always the typical question when we start to collaborate with some partner, with some customer, about which device should I pick. And usually we say, well, what do you want to do with it? But the point is, don't be worried about how strong is the device, how powerful it is, for how long it's going to stand. Thanks to streaming, one of our focus was always to make possible to change the device without touching the application on the server side. And this is literally the answer, because you can fade from one device to the other. You can use multiple devices for the same application. You can even create collaborative session where you mix and match different technology like AR and VR at the same time. And you should not be worried about which is the device. Hub help the user based on the characteristic of the device and the characteristic of the application to always give you the best experience when it comes to choosing the right tool at the right moment.
Yes, and in the videos or in the small parts of our office that we just saw before, we saw also our guys wearing different XR devices. So let's talk a little bit about the device landscape. Yeah, which ones are we supporting as of today?
Well, at Hololight, we have been historically always saying that we are a bit picky when it comes to choosing the device. We try to find devices that match industrial standards, or that they can achieve a certain goal for our users in a very industry-oriented scenario. We have been collaborating since the very beginning with Microsoft, for example, using the HoloLens and the HoloLens 2 now. We have been supporting also all the devices from Meta, Quest 2, Quest 3, Quest Pro. We have a strong partnership also with Qualcomm that give us access to platforms like Lenovo. We are introducing the VRX actually in a couple of weeks, and other devices that will come from Lenovo. And we keep adding new devices constantly as soon as they get on the market, and we can see that they match the characteristics of industry-oriented usage.
Yeah. And I mean, in an ideal world, you can just take any device and just run an application just as it is on the smartphone market.
Absolutely.
Today.
And actually, as you said when I joined you, Hub, it's in continuous development. So we will add feature constantly, and we will keep adding also devices as soon as they will be available on the market.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to one of the next questions from Martin, who is asking whether it's possible to visualize volumetric videos that are recorded. And he was asking a little bit about the file formats and so on. I think that's an application layer topic. Yeah?
Correct. In fact, so one of the things is Hub, it's not a software. Hub, it's a platform where you host application. So visualizing content, it's based on the application that you want to host. If you have developed an application that can do that, of course we can do it. And if you have a device that supports the possibility to visualize something like that, of course we can do it. So you should not look at Hub as the software where I drop something and it make it happen. Hub, it's the system that make everything run. But every software is a different solution. That's why, as you said, for example, we have already partnered that they have application already compatible with Hub. And the idea is that you have a catalog of solution, each and every one fitting a very specific scenario, but managed in a centralized way, always easy to access. So the functionality of the Hub system, they are not application functionality. They are solution functionalities.
Yes, but what it's important to mention is that if you have volumetric video recordings, then obviously the whole infrastructure of Hub and the fact that every application is streamed allows you to use and visualize the full video in high quality.
Correct.
So usually these volumetric video recordings are very large in size, and it's not easy to run them on a mobile device which doesn't have enough performance. So obviously if you have any application that is able to read the file formats and display them, then we deliver the infrastructure and the streaming technology to make it actually possible to see it on a XR device and headset.
Yes.
So that's a thing. Okay, then I like the next question because I'm not sure whether we have talked about it yet. So Tommy is asking what has been the biggest challenge or struggle that we were facing when building Hololight Hub?
Well, we started, first of all, wondering if cloud or on-prem would have been the way to go. And in the end, we decided to go both, because we know that cloud is definitely strongly used in many different areas, but not everyone can work with the cloud because of security, because of data secrecy, because of policies for the company. And that's why we have for sure designed a solution from the beginning to try to match complete different working scenarios. The second thing was to design it in a way that we could host literally every possible application developed today to run on a device and make it streamable to any device. As you mentioned before, a lot of companies, they develop software with one device in mind, and then this device become a constraint for them also to be able to extend the functionality of the software over certain limits unless you start a new development process. So to think about designing Hub in a way that every developer can extend his own application and almost with no effort immediately get support of multiple technology at the same time, multiple devices at the same time, has been for sure one of the biggest challenges, and we've been working very hard for many years to be sure that this could be achieved. And I think we have been proving this, for example, with our application Hololight Space, release after release, how much with streaming you could achieve. And we've been actually experimenting exactly with Hololight Space the concept of Hub. That's where it was born, and it's now finally accessible for everyone.
And in the beginning, you mentioned basically the challenge of going cloud or on-prem. What I like to highlight is that Hub is available also as a white label product. So if you are a company and you want to have your logo on there, if you want to have it like run in your own infrastructure, that's absolutely possible. But if you don't want to go that way and you want to go with a standard cloud version, that's also a way to go. So there's also flexibility in terms of that. Thanks, Gabe. Let's go to the next question from Roberto. He was asking, and I'll try to summarize a little bit, whether we are able to detect a device on runtime so that we can either switch between devices, but also he's asking in the direction, because obviously on one device you might have hand tracking and hand interaction, while on the other device you have controllers or you have the touch screen to interact. So maybe you can address
Yes, actually, this is going back about some of the challenges of designing the whole solution. Since the beginning, we want our streaming to be able to be as flexible as possible. And that's why designing the architecture of the streaming and then putting it in Hub, we ended up creating something that make possible, of course, to detect the device at connection, but be able also to swap between devices. So you can start to work in AR because it's the best technology for what you're doing at the moment, and then switch to VR because you need to work in different conditions. You need to run the environment in background. You need to have maybe some simulation data that needs to be displayed not in relation to the environment where you are. And through streaming, you can do that. And of course, because of this, we can also switch dynamically between hand tracking or controllers. We can have a functionality depending on the device. So whenever a user connects with the device, Hub, of course, can detect what kind of device it is. And that's why also for the user, accessing Hub means having the possibility to see the inventory of application that match the device characteristics and be sure that software deliver always the best experience.
Yes, and I like it to just go from one headset to the other. And I like it because in the end, I think taking a device and choosing a device, it should be up to the user ideally. Yes. We don't want to make that decision for you guys out there, so we just try to open up possibilities. Yeah.
And sometimes we forget that, for example, the collaboration is another very important aspect. Sometimes collaboration is about people being in different location, having different working condition, and therefore requiring maybe a different device. That's why being able to have multiple devices supported by the same application means that someone sitting in an office can just wear a virtual reality device because it's comfortable in his office, but someone is on the work floor and is in front of maybe of a product and they want to have a collaboration about a design review or training or how to assemble or disassemble or repair the product. And they can both use the device that better fits with their working condition.
Yes.
Without any limitation. The software is exactly the same.
Absolutely, yeah. Then let's move on to the next question from Clemens. He was asking whether the server is always provided by us or whether he can just take any server and install the hub on it. So that's, I think, a pretty easy answer.
Yes.
That even I, as the technology
No,
guy,
for
cannot
sure. So let's put it this way: we are not hardware resellers, so it's not that we made our own server. Of course, everyone can acquire his own server. We know that a lot of enterprises, they are already working with partners like HP, IBM, Lenovo. It's the hardware characteristics that, of course, we have requirements in order to fit. And again, the streaming approach is about having the application running server side and not on a device. So be sure to have all the hardware characteristics to fit the requirements of the software and the data you want to display. It's the only, let's say, part that we can advise and we can give guidance. But in particular for the on-premise version, every company can for sure procure the hardware from their preferred, let's say, vendor. And for cloud also, Hub, it's a platform that can be hosted on multiple cloud infrastructure. So we have been historically, for example, working with AWS, but in general, Microsoft Azure, Google, it's really flexible, can be deployed anywhere, and it's very easy to integrate in any network environment.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. And it's a very fair question to ask that. But yes, in the end, flexibility on the infrastructure side, that's where we can provide. Then Clemens had also another question about the user management and whether we can assign different roles to different people, giving, for example, access to specific applications, or also obviously to admins in uploading apps and then users just using them. Can you tell a little bit about
as
that?
I was mentioning before, we have designed Hub from the very beginning to be an enterprise solution, not a, let's say, consumer market-oriented solution. So we have been looking into the typical requisite of all the technology already deployed and maintained by IT. And of course, we have a user management system where you can have different roles. For example, we can define an application manager that is responsible to create account, give access rights to people, or to give access at all to an application. And based on roles and user definition, as I was mentioning before, we can mix and match the user with the device and the type of application is supposed to work with. So let's say Hub is not just the typical application store where you go and everything is there and you choose. Of course, being an enterprise means that you need to get access to the right tool and not by mistake maybe start to work with an application you're not familiar with, or worse, start to work with an application where you could actually load data that you're not even supposed to be aware of or be working with. So the whole system is designed to be managed and maintained through role and user profiles.
Yes, absolutely. We have also a question about the price packages and about the business model behind Hub. So what I can definitely say is that depending on whether you go cloud in our cloud infrastructure or whether you decide to go on your own infrastructure on-prem, we have different packages when you use our cloud infrastructure, or basically our access, but the cloud infrastructure of AWS or Azure or others. Then there is a pay-per-use model, because obviously you're consuming like resources in the cloud. And if you go with your own on-premise infrastructure, then obviously this is not gonna happen. There's no pay-per-use model, so there's a little bit of a different pricing model. But in the end, there are basically these two versions, and then it's a little bit depending on what kind of additional interfaces, integrations,
number of users, number of applications, size of the server. So yeah, it's a pretty flexible model.
That's the model, yeah. And there's also a question about our partnership with the ISVs out there, with the third-party application providers. So where do you get the application? Where do you get the platform? In the end, for sure, you get the platform from Hololight.
Exactly.
And then we have a collaboration with the ISV partners. So we co-sell with them, and you can do either a contract with them, or we can also structure in a different way to get the whole package from us. So that's depending on what you prefer and what's the easiest way in the end to set things up. So then I need a little bit of time to read through the next question, and it's great, guys, that you are asking so much. So we appreciate that a lot. Well, there's a question about the network, because obviously we're streaming things. So latency, bandwidth, these are like obviously topics. The closer your server is, the less latency. That's
Yeah, okay, but
like
let's say,
but
of course, the basic networking,
Yeah.
that's why also this is a tool for IT first. Networking is, of course, let's say, one of the most important part of being able to work with Hub. And again, cloud or on-prem means internet connectivity or local area network. Usually to deploy Hub, for sure, your IT department needs to work on setting up at the best way the interaction with the network and number of user and the type of application or type of device can make the data consumption in the network actually change a lot. But one of the advantages of streaming is that it's not far away from what happens with, for example, video streaming that you have with platforms like YouTube, Netflix, and so on.
Yep.
So, of course, we have compression system. We have a lot of algorithms that try to optimize the data traffic. And just to give some rough number, a device like HoloLens, so augmented reality, we are talking about around 8 megabit of data for a full quality application in the full resolution of the device. Devices like the Quest 3, that they are way more advanced VR devices, 4K, they have higher requirement, and we are talking about something like 18-20 megabit minimum for having a full quality visualization. In the initial video, actually, Philip was showing the demo of the ray tracing, so the car with to display that in any point of the network, you need around 18 megabit of data. And latency, we have been working very hard to try to be able to manage as much as possible also high latency. And we can guarantee actually a pretty smooth experience with the streaming that could face between 180 and 200 milliseconds of latency.
Yeah. And yeah, we are well aware of the fact that if you are on a factory floor, for example, you don't have the perfect conditions like a gamer would have in his living room or so. Yeah. So we are well aware of the challenges there, and that's why we invest so much in optimizing and
this is why also this is again an IT tool. So you need to have your IT department involved because there are very few requirements in order to make it work. You don't need to work very hard, but for sure a good configuration and a good setup is still required.
Yeah. Okay. Then the next question, and I think I told you it would come, yeah. It's about the support for Apple Vision Pro and maybe other future devices that will come, yeah. So let's share a little bit about that.
Yes. As I was mentioning, we constantly work on the new device coming on the market. The first step for us is to enable the device to use properly our streaming technology. We have been working actually on the Apple Vision Pro and will be very soon available also as a supported platform. And we constantly, through our partnership with company like Meta, with Qualcomm, we keep getting access to devices at the early stage. If we see that the device has a potential to be used as I said, in industries or in any case for professional usage, we start immediately to work on integration, and we keep extending the catalog of devices. Today we have around 7 already supported devices, and we have already planned in the next months to add between 3 and 5 in a very short time range.
Yes, absolutely, and I'm looking forward to to that, and because obviously each device, depending on the use case and the business case, is the right choice. And
correct.
That's why supporting several devices just makes so much sense for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great. So for the moment, I think we don't have further questions. So if you guys have a last question that you want to ask, we'll give you like a couple of seconds. Yeah,
we can take another sipper.
We can, let's do that. Okay. Why not?
Cheers again.
Cheers. Sorry. Not sure whether there was enough, yeah. No, but I think at this point, I would say, Gabe, that we just maybe stop here, and I would like to invite you to get in touch with us, with our team, either via LinkedIn or via our website. We have a contact form there. If you have any questions, just reach out.
Yeah.
Check out Gabe's profile or my profile. Yeah. If you have any questions, we're happy to talk with you about what we love so much, and what we're passionate about. And yeah.
And there is so much more to say about hubs. So
Yeah.
that's why, we are open to answer any question. It's the first product on the market doing this. So, of course, no one has a reference, and we are happy to answer any question, because we can see that as soon as enterprise will start to use, they will ask for more and more feature. They will ask for more compatibility in many areas, and we are more than happy to actually not only work on our own roadmap, but also collaborate with companies, customers, ISV in making hub. It's even a bigger platform.
Yeah. Absolutely, better together. I think the collaboration, we appreciate the collaboration with our partners so far, all the ISV partners, the technology partners, the hardware OEMs. Obviously, there are a lot of players that have to come together to deliver a full solution, and in the end, it's about the full solution. So I can just confirm that. But I would say that I was told not to stop or end this session before I had the chance to tell you that we have like a last video we want to share to you. It's kind of a bonus and surprise.
Okay.
I don't know whether you saw it already. I think I don't.
I saw a screenshot, so I'm really curious to see actually what it is.
Okay, yeah. So we say goodbye until here, and stay here for a couple of seconds.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Okay, and see you soon. Bye.
AR across the lands. For engineers and dreamers, they bring the cash to life through augmented